Hi everyone, Jessica here from Paper Ink Stamp and welcome back to my channel. So today's video we're going to be taking a look at Creative Stamping issue 201. So first of all let's take a look at the free gift. As always we've got our A4 stamp set. So this A4 stamp set is called Christmas Gnomes and what we have is a section of 3 stamps here in the middle. And this is by Polka Doodles. So we've got 3 different gnome stamps. We've got this one where they are caroling. We've got this one which is hanging off of the bauble, which is really fun, and then we've got this one here holding up 2 signs that says peace and joy. Then up here we've got this really lovely truck with the Christmas tree in the boot. I really love that one. We've got the sort of street lighting, sort of like a vintage sort of street light there. We've got the robin, we've got the sort of snowflakes and other bits and pieces just to be able to decorate. And then we do have some sentiments: driving gnome for Christmas, 'tis the season to be jolly, wishes, merry and happy. Then down in this section we have got these 2 really fun Christmas trees which have got sort of just a different design, so if you're looking for something that isn't quite traditional, they're going to be perfect. We've got this really lovely kind of swirl of different sized and different shaped snowflakes in here. That's really beautiful. Then we've got the stocking, again a few more sort of elements and embellishments you can use. You've got the stocking there, and then we've got believe in magic, birthday, Christmas and have a gnome amazing. So again you can build up your sentiments, and you've got different fonts there as well, which I really love. With this set as well we also got some papers. So this does come as a little booklet together, but I've taken mine apart and I've cut it down just so they're in single sheets. They are double-sided, but we've got some really lovely colours, some pinks and purples and blues. We've got some greens in there, different patterns and things, and we're definitely going to make use of this on our card today. And you do get 2 of each, I believe it's at least 2 of each design there with your papers. So let's pop that to one side and just take a look what they've got in the magazine itself. So again, a really beautiful card on the front here. They've created a background, a little bit of heat embossing with some of those smaller elements. So, when you get stamp sets like this, obviously you do have kind of your main focal images, but all of these sort of smaller stamps that you have in here could make really easy, perfect backgrounds for your cards. That's what they've done here, and then you've got that kind of main element just there. So let's take a look actually in the magazine. So that's what has been created with these. This is beautiful backgrounds, and again it's how to then kind of use those stamps to make backgrounds. You've got instructions here on how to mask an image for a 1-layer card. So for this one here they've used the Christmas trees and again layered those. So we've got the gnome, have a gnome amazing birthday. Again, so you've got an aperture in there, but you've got that heat embossed snowflakes in there. Again, the emboss resist background from the front of the front of the magazine, sorry. And then you've got just simple backgrounds like this. So again, using some of those stamps to create repeating backgrounds. If you didn't want to use lots and lots of different stamps, you could just repeat the pattern to create a background. That's going to work perfectly. Then we've got a lovely circle card here with again a little bit of white heat embossing, and then it looks like it's been inked over the background. Then we have Gnome Amazing Christmas, so again using some of those papers. So we've got those background papers in there, heat embossing or stamping, sorry, just onto those patterned papers. I love this one because you've got that truck, and Kate, who created this card, has turned that into like a snowbank. I really like how that was done. Again, just using those Christmas tree, adding some little pom-poms onto that as well. Just some really easy kind of cards, but they are a little bit more untraditional, and they are just a bit different. I like this as well, so using just a really simple circle nesting die, and again just using some of those smaller stamped elements to create a really fun and simple kind of card. Then we've got again using those background papers, and so we've got kind of creating an aperture, creating a frame, and then you have that really cute little gnome in there as well. So let's take a look at what comes included in the next issue of Creative Stamping. So the next one is coming off of the theme of Christmas, but still in that kind of winter theme though. So this is on sale the 9th of December. This is called Snowflakes and Butterflies. So again, it's sort of, got that winter theme, but you've got those butterflies in there as well. If you've got any winter birthdays, these are going to be perfect. So these are by Chloe's Creative Cards. So we have got in here, of course, that A4 stamp set. We've got 24 papers and some toppers there, which we can download from the Craft World website. So these look like some really beautiful papers there. And then we do have an exclusive part cut Chloe die. So we've got a butterfly die just here. It looks like you can then lift the wings up from that. But it looks like we've got some really lovely big butterflies. You've got smaller ones, you've got the swirls. Looks like it's got full of sentiments. Absolutely perfect, like I said, for any of those winter birthdays. But so that is looking at the magazine itself and the free gift. So let's get into creating a card using the Christmas Gnomes stamp set from Creative Stamping issue 102. So with my papers and stamp set today, I really wanted to make the most out of these papers and create a card where you could really kind of use a lot of these. So I'm going to make a card that I've never made before and I've never made on my channel here. We're going to make a double Z fold card. Now obviously I'm going to go through how to make this and kind of the dimensions and things, but you will find a list of the dimensions to make this card and the instructions as well over on my blog, and there will be a link in the description box down below for you to find that if you want to go back and be able to recreate this card. So if I just move these bits out of the way, I have done a little bit of die cutting already, and you can see I've just die cut some silver Mirri card as well, and I'm going to use that for a little bit of matte and layering. So to create this double Z fold card, so this is quite a big card, so I needed to cut this from some A3 cardstock. You could adjust the size to get this out of a A4 sized, but I wanted to go with just a slightly bigger card here today. So the pieces that I've already cut, I've got this piece here which is 12 inches by 6 inch. So the paper that I've used to cut this from is the Hunkydory Supersized Ink Me cardstock. So they do it in an A3 size. So that's what I use if I'm creating like a slimline card, if I'm creating a card like this where I just need a bigger sheet of paper. And also this is 300 GSM, so it's going to be perfect for a card base. And again, I'll leave a link in the description box down below if you want to check out that A3 pad. So this one here, like I said, so you've got a 12 inch by 6 inch, and then this strip here, this is 12 inch by 2 inches. So I've cut this down. I do need to go ahead and score this. So I'm going to use my Tonic Studios paper trimmer here. Obviously, I'm just using my scoring sort of attachment on here rather than the actual cutting. So what I'm going to do, starting from the left hand side, I'm going to score at 3 inch and at 6 inches. So I'm going to line that up first of all with 3 inch. Then I'm just going to move that along and I'm going to put my left hand edge then with the 6 inch score line. So there we have our sort of base, so we'll fold that in a second. I'm going to take then this smaller 2 inch strip and I'm going to do the same thing again. So I'm going to score at 3 inch. And I'm going to bring that along and I'm going to line that up with a 6 inch and I'm going to score there. So now I've got these scored, I can go ahead and fold these. So I'm going to do, first of all is going to be a mountain and the second is going to be a valley. So I'm just going to fold this one up first of all. So the first one we have got is our mountain, and then I'm just going to fold this one and we've got our valley. So it's going to sit like that, so you can see it's that Z fold. So I'm going to do the same thing again, just with my actual card base. So the first fold is going to be a mountain, and that second fold is going to be a valley. Okay, so there we have our folding done. So what this is going to look like now when we put this together, so with my strip here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn this over, and then we're going to have the 6 inch piece is going to be on this front bit. Then it's going to go back, so it's going to kind of look like this. And then overall, the finished size of this is going to be 6 inches square, so you can fit that in a 6 by 6 inch envelope. But then when you have it standing out on the mantle, it's going to look like this. So that's how you create that really basic double Z fold card. So now we can go ahead and start sort of decorating this. So what I've already done is I've already cut some pieces of silver Mirri card. So what I wanted was for these pieces to mat my patterned paper. So I'm going to add all of these flat, and I'm going to just add all of these layers onto my card base. Okay, so I've added all my silver Mirri card layers. So in terms of measurements, so for this front strip, this piece of Mirri card here, I have cut to 1 3/4 by 5 3/4. This piece here is again 1 3/4 by 2 3/4, and it's the same for that piece there. For our bigger panel here, this piece here was cut to 5 3/4 by 2 3/4, the same for that piece. Then this piece here, this was cut to 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 square. So again, I will leave the measurements on my blog. There will be a link in the description box down below if you want to go back and just sort of make a note of those measurements. So the next thing to do is to decide which of these papers we want to use on the card. So I really like this striped paper, so I'm definitely going to make use of that one. The other one I really like is this plaid. So I want to get just some different patterns on my card, and again just really make some use out of all of these lovely patterns. So I've cut all of my pieces down, so hopefully this isn't too dark. I know this silver Mirri card really kind of plays havoc with my camera, but so this is how it's going to look. Of course, I mean, I've got quite big borders on here from that silver Mirri card. You of course can you know, make them much smaller, much bigger, obviously whatever it is that you want to do, but I really like actually having that because I think it kind of brings it all back nicely to that kind of Christmassy theme, and I just really like how this looks with all these different papers. So again, I'm going to get all of these stuck down, then we can start using our stamp set to actually add in then all of our elements. So this is the kind of layout that I think I want to go with. So we've got the 2 Christmas trees just on the left here. We're then going to have the truck with its Christmas tree kind of driving away from the trees. And then we're going to have this really fun festive gnome on this right hand side. I think I might pop this light in the back, and then we're going to pop our sentiment onto the back there. So here we've got our stampings. Now I'm going to go ahead and colour these in with my alcohol markers, and then we're going to trim these out and we can get these onto our card. Okay, so I've coloured in all of my pieces and just cut these out. I've cut it without that white border just so it sits a little nicer. I always like the idea of cutting these out myself, but honestly when I come to actually doing it, I really realise how much I appreciate like coordinating dies that go with things, because it is, especially when you've got something like this, it's very fiddly, very sort of time consuming to do so. So yeah, I do really love having the coordinating dies for things. But so I've got those cut out. So what I need to do first of all is to just stamp my sentiment. My paper is just a tiny bit rippled on here, which is a little bit of a shame, but I think that was more down to the glue that I used, nothing to do with the paper. So I'm just going to pop my sentiment onto an acrylic block. Hopefully this is going to stamp well just the first time. So I'm going to put that one just there. Then we can stamp our Christmas. I'm just going to stamp it kind of underneath, just there. So there we have our fun Have a Gnome Amazing Christmas. Okay, so now we can go ahead and pop this on. So what I'm going to do is put this on first of all. So I just want to make sure that I don't get it kind of past the point of the 3-inch. So I'm going to glue probably to about there. And then I need to glue this whole panel as well. So So you just need to put glue on these 2 pieces. The rest of it is going to be sort of freestanding. So I'm going to put this sort of about there. And then there we have our double Z fold card, and again then that'll fit in a 6x6 inch envelope, so it can stand just like that. So then what I want to do is I'm going to add my trees. So again, I'm just going to glue these flat onto here. I don't really need sort of too much dimension with this, so let's add a little bit of glue. So let's go up a little further. And we can add that one just there. Then we've got our smaller one just here, which we're going to put just next to it. Then we've got our card. Now I want my card to just hang over this edge just a little bit, but actually I think I will pop some foam pads onto here. So let's take these ones. These ones is from that Chloe roll. So we might need to just cut these in half. Do a half one there, and then we'll just do a small piece just on that one, because that is still going to stay sat on that. It's not going to be hanging over the edge. So we can pop that one sort of, yeah, just about there. So that's cool. Then we've got this very sort of delicate street lamp here. So again, let's just pop that. So I don't want that to come outside of my card, because again, we want this to fit in that envelope nicely. And do you know what? I think I'm going to pop this on a foam pad as well, just to give that a little bit of dimension, just like so. And then those bits can kind of just float as they are. So there's all of our pieces. So let's just, again, just make sure that sort of folds down nicely. So you're going to pop it into your envelope just like so. So even just kind of the front of that, you could put another sentiment. Have we got another sentiment just to pop up there? Yeah, let's just stamp. So we've got this, 'tis the season to be jolly. Let's stamp this one as well, just so you've got a sentiment just there. So I think that's going to finish that off. So there's the front, and then we can open it up. You've got all of that patterned paper in there. And again then, so we've got just our gnome here, and we've got our card just driving home for Christmas, because it 'tis the season to be jolly. So I really love how this has turned out. So it's a great way of using up, again, those patterned papers. You can make use of all of the different patterns that you have that comes free, and obviously not just with this kit, with other kits as well. And then, yeah, just using the different elements. This is a great way if you've got kind of different styles. So we've got the gnomes and we've got this kind of driving home for Christmas themed, then it means you can put them together and it will just work really nicely. But I really love how that's come out. I love, again, that will just fit in that 6x6 inch envelope. So obviously my car has just kind of come off a little bit here. If you wanted to just make sure that that doesn't, obviously just put it a little bit further further across towards the left, so that doesn't overhang. But so then when the person who you're going to give it to is going to display it, then it can be, you know, just on the mantelpiece or wherever, sort of just open nicely like that, and you can see all of that patterned paper. When you do want to write, you could just write on the back of this really easily, or of course then you could just write on this backing piece. So that is going to be our finished card for today's video. So this is that double Z fold card. Again, you'll find more description on how to make this style card with then the dimensions that I've used to cut the actual card base itself, and then all of these mats and layers as well. Pop that over there. There will be links in the description box down below, and picture links over on my blog as well. All of that information you can find in the description box down below. So if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and and leave me a comment down below if you did like this card. So that's going to be it for today. Thanks very much for watching and happy crafting.